What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, I have something very special for you. I have another interview with one of my students that has had massive success wholesaling real estate, and not just wholesaling real estate. This student of mine fix and flips, and he develops properties from the ground up. Yeah, he builds property from the ground up. This student of mine is the real deal, and he's been having massive success. So I wanted to bring him on the channel so that way you can learn from him and he can share his story with you. So Andrew, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Hey, Jacob, thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank you for having me here. I'm
Yes,
super
sir.
excited.
Yes, sir. So guys, we're going to get right into it. But if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go down below, hit the red button and subscribe. It helps me reach more people. So I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe to the channel. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. So Andrew, I know you've made over $350,000 in your real estate career now, and you've been doing real estate for how long?
About 2.5 years now.
Okay, so 2.5 years, he's made over $350,000 in 2.5 years. So he is doing amazing for himself. You're in your early 20s. How old are you?
I'm just about to turn 24 actually tomorrow. So
Wow.
that's
So
how
guys,
old I am.
24 years old in the past 2 years. So from 22 to 24, he's made over $350,000. That is super amazing. When did you jump onto my programs and start getting mentorship from me? I think it was about 1.5 years ago now, right?
Yeah, so I did my first year all me, just off YouTube videos, trying to learn the whole basis, the whole scheme of it. Then I knew I needed to change something. Something wasn't going my way. I just wanted to excel more in this business, learn from great people just like Jacob. So I decided to reach out to actually multiple people on the Instagram that you guys see, the gurus, right? But I can tell you right now, guys, if you reach out to Jacob, he's not bullshitting you. He's not a guru. He is a guru. He does this shit for a living, and he will make sure that you excel in this business. So again, I decided to reach out. Jacob and me clicked, and it's been green ever since then. And I expect way more in the future. Shit, might even be business partners. You never fucking know.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Most of my students actually become good friends of mine. So me and Andrew talk a lot. We do a lot of deals. I give him a lot of great advice. So he jumped on the mentorship. We've had multiple calls, gave him a lot of business strategy, and he's had massive success. So guys, if you want to learn from me, if you want to get some of my programs or get on my mentorship, there's going to be links down below in the description for that. So make sure to check that out. But thanks, Andrew, for letting them know how it's been helpful for you. And let's get right into your story. So let's jump back 2.5 years. You're going after your first deal. Let's start with, how did you find out about wholesaling or real estate in the first place?
So as a lot of people start off, they're just scrolling on Instagram. These other people, making a hell of money, a lot of money. So what am I not doing right? What am I missing? What do I need to do? Right. So I get into it, start researching. I figure out, let me try being a realtor. Okay. I do the course, I pass the test. And then one day I see a video from Jacob talking about wholesaling. No license, no nothing. I've always been the type to never want somebody to boss me around. I'm a hustler from day one. That's just how I am. Okay. So as soon as I heard that, I decided to go full in. I did some research, 3 to 6 months of research. Then I started to figure out my whole game plan, what marketing strategy I wanted to go through, what I exactly wanted to do as far as which list to target, what dialer to use. There's a lot of things that go into it. But when I saw Jacob's video, it enlightened me, changed my whole perspective, and it's been game on ever
There we
since
go.
then.
So this is how he started. Found out about wholesaling real estate. Then he did what I said in my videos. You need to get a well-rounded understanding of the business before you take action. So he spent a couple months researching all over YouTube, doing as much research as possible, get that well-rounded understanding of the business. Now you feel more comfortable to take action. Now he develops a business plan. What marketing channel am I going to do? What's my strategy? He gets his strategy, he gets his business plan of what he plans on doing. And now let's talk about the action. So you're a few months into learning. What do you do? What is your first step of action?
All right, guys. So the first step is actually taking one foot out the door and doing it. Take the action. So what I started doing was cold calling. Called a bunch of people, pulled a list, and called everybody and their mother in my area. Again, start in your area, I think, unless you have a very small market. Go
Yeah.
somewhere where there's a lot of buyers. Okay, don't be scared of the competition. There's plenty of properties for everybody. Now, started cold calling. Finally, about 4 months later, got my first lead. It was a deal. One call
There
turned
we
into
go.
$10,000, guys. One
So,
call.
so your first deal was for 10,000.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Congratulations. So you were how old at this time? Like 22?
Yep.
Okay,
21.
22, 21, 22 makes $10,000 from wholesaling. So from finding out about wholesaling to actually closing that deal, how long do you think that period was?
That period was about 6 months. About
6
six
months.
months for me.
Yeah, so guys, some people get their deal quick. I think that's a curse because it's not easy to do this business. So I actually like it to take around 6 months. For me, it took 8 months to get my first deal. But what happens when it takes you a while to get that first deal, it actually builds you the thick skin that you need to actually have success on a long-term playing field in this business. So that's good. So you're cold calling. When you were chasing after this first deal, how many hours a day were you cold calling for?
Oh, guys, this is where you got to really put the hours in. Okay. I was calling roughly about 7 hours every day, including doing my side job. Okay. You got to make money somehow on the side
What was
while
your
you're
side job? What were you doing
construction,
for work?
demolition work, right? Just muscling out the way, trying to finish the day's work in the morning, 5 a.m., finish at 2 p.m. Rest of the day, call all the way up until 8 p.m. Just grind and grind and grind.
Awesome. Okay, so he finds out about wholesaling. He researches. He makes an action plan. His action plan was, I'm going to pull a list of motivated sellers. I'm going to get a dialer, which is a dialer dials multiple lines at once. So that way you can reach more people rather than hand dialing one by one on your phone and not really getting a hold of anybody. He decided to do the right method, which was actually reach thousands of people. So he gets this dialer, he gets this list. Now he commits to 7 hours a day of calling, even while he's working another job. That is what it takes. And that's why this guy has succeeded, guys. And that's why 90% of people don't succeed in this business, because it actually takes grit, it actually takes hard work, and he was willing to do it. So props to you for that. Now you make $10,000. What do you do with this money? Do you reinvest it back into the business or do you blow it? What was your next steps?
Oh, guys, so if you're smart, you got to reinvest in the business and yourself, especially. Okay. Don't go out and blow it. It might seem fun. You got $10,000, you might have $20,000. Could be even $50,000 your first deal. You go out and blow it, and especially when you're young, you guys are just losing the whole point of what your whole game plan is. Okay. Got to have a game plan, or you're not actually going to be in this business for a long time.
Yep. Okay. So you reinvested. So what does that look like? What were your next steps to kind of scale your business, get more deals, or did you just stay on the phones yourself and keep pounding it out? What did you do next?
Yeah, so next step was to put that $10,000 to use. Save a little bit for myself in case of emergency. Pretty much put 8,000 to work, okay? Sacrifice that 8,000. Next plan was to figure out what I need to do to make my process a little bit more automated, a little more smoother, okay? So I did some more research. I can hire some cold callers, okay, and I can make my process a little bit more easier on myself. I don't have to be the one calling the whole time, okay? I just get to filter, qualify all the hot leads, call those leads, and make the deals happen. So that was the next step.
Awesome. So he started delegating a little bit, right? At least the marketing. He decided to get some cold callers so that way they would call the cold list. They would find the sellers that are already wanting a cash offer, send those to him, and he would just close rather than open. Now he was just talking to people ready to accept an offer. So he was that much closer to getting more deals. So since this $10,000, you've done a bunch of deals. What are some of the bigger deals you've done?
Oh, okay. So some of the bigger deals I've done, I've closed on a $40,000 deal. I've closed on a $30,000 deal, had multiple $20,000 deals. So guys, I mean, if you really get after it, it is possible.
When
Okay.
he started the mentorship with me, his average deal size was actually pretty low, if I'm remembering right. It
Seven
was
and a
like
half.
Yeah, it was like around $8,000 per deal. And I said, for a healthy wholesaling business, your average deal size needs to be at least around $15,000 per deal. But we've boosted that up. Like these bigger deals he's talking about, these have happened during my mentorship. So we got his average deal size up, and it's a much more healthy that way. Guys, he just was working. He has a deal that he's working on that is $100,000 assignment fee, right? He's working on it, hasn't closed yet. But guys, this is what happens when you're in the game long enough. You start getting deals that are big deals. He was working on a $100,000 deal. Some of these flips you've done, you've made a good chunk of change, and let's talk about flips, and you develop property as well. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So, you start building yourself the wholesaling business, you're able to actually diversify a little bit, at least figure out what you want to do outside of just wholesaling, right? I've always had a construction background, so I decided to start doing maybe some flips, building new houses. I already knew a little bit about something of that route. So I decided to take down a few of these houses that I found myself from my team that were already discounted. Didn't need a realtor, didn't need anything. It's an off-market deal. Took it down, decided to flip it, and the profit, I mean, it's amazing. You get to handpick the deals you want to flip. Again, guys, you get to handpick the deals you want to flip.
Yes, sir.
Nobody's telling you what you want to do.
Yeah, you get to
And
hand pick them. When you're the deal finder and you're wholesaling real estate, you sell off all the deals you don't want. You wholesale them. But then you cherry pick the good deals and you flip them, and you make all the money rather than just making a fee. So he's been doing that as well, which just shows how he's leveling up in this game. That's exactly what I do as well.
that
Now,
just started for me. Yep.
now I see that you're trying to buy like vacant infill lots in your own market and develop. So what's that looking like?
Yeah, so I'm always looking for land to build. For my purpose, I'm looking to build for the long term. I like to find land, build a beautiful new house, and rent that house for the long term. That way, I can build that wealth through generational timing,
Yeah,
right?
so
So
he's working on building a portfolio as well, but he's not necessarily just looking for properties that are already built. He's getting land, developing, putting his own house there, and keeping it forever and renting it out. How many of those have you built?
So far, I'm on track for 2 more. One has been built. I've just gotten this process started as far as building for the long term. All of this wouldn't be possible without figuring out how to wholesale, and because of Jacob and
Yeah.
all that mess, guys.
Wholesaling's the best way to get your foot in the door with real estate, and look what he has done with it since. A lot of things, which is super amazing. Andrew, what advice do you have for the people watching this video that are, back where you were when you're 21 years old? You find out about wholesaling and you're like, hey, I want to get rich. I want to become successful. I know I have the work ethic and the determination to actually do it, but what do I do? What advice do you have for those people?
Yeah, guys, the best piece of advice I can give you, and honestly, in this day and age, I think for men like us and also other people, right? A lot of this social media stuff, you might be looking at somebody else. Oh, he's got $1 million at 20. He's got 5 million at 17. Cut all of that crap out. Focus on you and only you and your family and whatever other stuff you believe in. I promise you, everything will happen just the way that you manifest it. So Jacob's younger than me. I'm not going to let my ego get in the way. None of that crap. He's way younger than me. He's got way more ahead of me in this life already. It doesn't matter. He's a great person. I'm gonna study off him, do whatever I can to serve him at the highest level. So, guys, if you got that mentality, you'll go far.
This dude's got the right mentality, man. So maybe it starts with just your mentality. And then you realize that you don't need to look at all this fucking noise on social media and actually just focus on each step. Because if you focus on the work that's actually going to get you the results and that's all you focus on, you do that for a year or two, then you pick your head up, you look around, and you change everything in your whole life. That's what you got to do. Andrew's in his house right now with a whiteboard behind him with all his deals written up there. And this is where he's made $350,000, guys. $350,000. He's about to open up an office, though. I've been giving him advice on how to open up an office. So he's about to scale his operation and really build it out. But guys,
Sure.
it all starts with a whiteboard in your room, making it happen. This kid has done it. He's successful, and he's going to go on to do amazing things. And it's possible for all of you, because there is nothing different between me and Andrew and you watching this video. So Andrew, I think that's a phenomenal piece of advice. And I think we're going to wrap up the video here because that was fantastic. So guys, if you enjoyed this interview, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to reach out to Andrew, what's your Instagram?
Hey guys, if you ever want to reach out to me, do some deals, find me some deals, I'd love to work with you. All of my social media is just my name, as you see, Andrew Ozick. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Okay.
Yes, sir. So thank you, Andrew, for joining me. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go down below, hit the red button and subscribe. But other than that, guys, we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.